a couple of years ago in 2019 with the goal of further reducing environmental impact on the regatta. That year they really focused on reducing waste, increasing recycling, reducing the use of single-use plastics, and their sponsor BNY Mellon supported this effort by providing fully recyclable water bottles. Because of those efforts, in 2019, the regatta made significant progress. Trash was reduced by 24% and recycling increased by 44%. The head of the Charles is committed to making the regatta the green standard for large national events. And of course, as we've said, quite a large event, David, 3 full days this year. Well, 2.5, 3 total days.
Approximately 11,000 athletes. 1,500 volunteers. As you see, bow card 50, that's Laura Sturton-Oust of Pelham Community Rowing Association in New Rochelle, New York. She's a flyweight rower, she says, with 15 years of experience, and it's her 13th head of the Charles. As we see some more rowers finishing up the big turn and looking for that Elliott Bridge and their point coming through it to go back to the starboard side. And I love hearing the cowbells there at the CBC Boathouse as the athletes also, again, hear their names as they come through and into really the final stretch of the race course. The 3-mile race course, 4,702 meters on the Charles River here in Cambridge, Boston, Massachusetts. That's bow card 52, Maria Alonso of Cincinnati Rowing Club. We mentioned her a couple times. She was born in Havana, Cuba, but she's been in the United States for quite a long time. And she, Maria, is a pediatric general and transplant surgeon. So saving the lives of children, pretty amazing biography for Maria Alonso as she finishes up her race coming from Cincinnati, Ohio.
And for folks just tuning in to the live YouTube stream, you join us at the tail end of event number 4, the Women's Grandmaster Veteran Single, age categories 50 plus, 60 plus, and 65 plus. Those yellow buoys mark the finish line, called the chute. Because there's 2 yellow buoys and athletes will go just straight in between them. The next event that begins at 10:02 a.m. So right now, the women's senior masters doubles. So now you'll see that we've picked up another athlete in the boat. We've got 2 athletes, 4 oars, the sculling shells, the women's senior masters doubles 50 plus.
So ages 50 to 60. When you hit age 60, you go into the Grandmaster category. So these are masters categories. Masters rowing is generally club rowing, sort of past the age, college age or elite sort of ages. And that's what this category is, the senior master women's doubles. And so we have the first of our doubles categories on the race course here, our day 1 of the 2021 Head of the Charles Regatta. And you're seeing them come through that start line again. That's right at the BU dock. You see on the left, that's the Boston University Boathouse. And you saw those 2 triangular buoys with an S on it. That's the start line. So the athletes kind of go single file. They try to get up to speed, trying to be full speed as they come through those triangular buoys. And then they approach this first bridge.
So first bridge, you do not want to pass anyone in front of you before that. The idea is to pass afterwards, and in fact, it's one of the rules. So really important to study the map, to know the rules, to understand how to be compliant so that you avoid any penalties. They're quite severe at 60 seconds, and there are Head of the Charles officials hiding in the bushes on several of these bridges, really paying attention and watching to make sure that everyone gets a fair race. And so the way to do that in the shell is to have your wits about you and make sure that you're being fair as you're passing or being passed with other crews. This is, again, the women's senior masters double, the tip of the dock of the Boston University Boathouse, which you can see on the left-hand side. And in fact, those yellow chute buoys at the start, well, that's where the athletes are on the clock. That's exactly where the race begins. So they'll want to build into a race cadence, move through that chute at pace, and they're now in the first several minutes of their race. As they come out of the BU bridge, they'll start to lengthen into a base cadence.
So what are doubles? We told you that this is a doubles race. It's 2 athletes in each of these 17 shells in this category. And we said that they are all ages 50 to 60 are these women, and they each have 2 oars, 1 in each hand. So it's a sculling race. So there are 4 oars in the boat. As you see, that is bow number 1, Bethany Grant and Christine Collins of Cambridge Boat Club. Christine Collins is a Trinity College alum from Hartford, Connecticut, who represented the U.S. at the